Hey, and welcome to another episode of Another Day in LA with your host, me, Robert L. Green, coming to you live from sunny Los Angeles, California. That's robertlgreen.substack.com. And thanks for tuning in. We are going to talk about Charlie Kirk today. This was a very tragic situation that happened recently, as we're all still reeling from the after effects of his execution in front of 3,000 young bright college students who just wanted to come for some lively debate. And I think that we need to start this episode with just a basic kind of understanding for all Americans that I think we can all agree that killing someone just because they have a different ideology or different views or different worldviews than you is just absolutely plain wrong. I mean, why can't people just acknowledge that? Why can't people say that? It's just common sense. So I do note that with the far left, radical left, they love free speech until it's speech that they disagree with. And then this happens. So I really do want to come together as Americans, not the left, not the right, but as all Americans, and just denounce the vicious, vile, evil act that just took place. The assassination of Charlie Kirk in front of 3,000 kids. It's just egregious what the perp Tyler Robinson did. And we'll talk about him in just a minute, but I want to get to some things about Charlie Kirk's words. And I'm referencing factcheck.org. You can check that out yourself. It's factcheck.org, because a lot of hate has come, a lot of celebration for his murder has come about on TikTok. And I was really confused by that. It's like, okay, you can disagree with someone, but why are you going to shoot him? But they said he sowed his own fate with his words. So what happens a lot in the media, media outlets you can't believe them, because what they do is they cherry pick things. They cherry pick the facts, or they cherry pick segments from the article to further their argument, and it may not be true. So you need to fact check all of this before you go and make a rebuttal to someone who disagrees with you. So I'll give you one example. Well, one thing that I would say to you is that I was an avid follower of Charlie Kirk. I don't agree 100% on a lot of his policy positions. I don't probably agree 50% on a lot of his policy positions. But what I did agree on is the debate, and I was engaged by his platform. It was really he showed a lot of intellectual prowess, and so did the kids that he debated with. Some of them not so much, but he was a very skilled debater, and the platform was very engaging, and that's why I followed him. Not because I 100% have to believe every single idea that he has. So one thing that I'll tell you right up front, right off the bat, that I disagreed with, and I can't get past this, is the Civil Rights Act. So let me remind you guys, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a landmark federal law that prohibited discrimination based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex and employment, public accommodation, and federally funded programs. All right. This was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1964, and it was something that this country needed. Okay. This civil rights movement was something this country needed, and that legislation is something we needed. So I will tell you that I did fact check, because he was getting a lot of hate for what he said about the Civil Rights Act. I'm going to quote him now. And this is coming from Charlie Kirk. He stated, "I have a very, very radical view on this," meaning the Civil Rights Act, "but I can defend it. And I've thought about it. This is Charlie Kirk, we made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. Okay, stop. Cannot be on the same page with him as that. But what he was intimating, what he was trying to get at, and what he subsequently over and over again tried to explain is the Civil Rights Act, in his opinion, led to a permanent DEI-type bureaucracy. Okay, and so that's a whole nother topic, but this DEI that's been going on, the way it's been interpreted and implemented in today's society is kind of not what the DEI which is could be a good thing, was meant to do. It's been taken completely out of context and overcorrected by the radical far left. So again, I'll just state something I totally didn't agree with him about, meaning the Civil Rights Act, because I believe it was an essential piece of legislation. But then I had respondents on social media tell me, what the hell is wrong with you? You watched this guy when he wanted and advocated for the stoning of gay people? Okay, so that was disproven. He was doing an episode on June 8th of 2024 with Miss Rachel. And Miss Rachel made a Bible quote to him and said, you, Charlie, thou shalt love thy neighbor. He goes, yeah, I'm a religious person. I agree with you. But I also need to tell you that if thou shalt lie with a man as a man, then thou shalt be stoned. Something to that effect from Leviticus in the Bible. And he said, quote unquote, I'm just saying. So that didn't mean that his policy position was that, hey, I don't want gays to have civil rights, or hey, I want to have public stoning for gays. But the respondents that I'm getting from social media are saying, wow, you listened to a guy that wanted you stoned. This is 2025. Nobody and no policy position of his was that he was going to have public stonings. It's just ridiculous and stupid, and you need to fact check before you believe everything that someone's quoting to you. Okay, so there were a lot of controversial things he said. There's no doubt about that. A lot of things I didn't agree with him. There's no doubt about that. But please, someone tell me, and you can tell me in the comment sections, someone tell me how it's okay to murder someone in front of 3,000 people because you disagree with their ideology. How is that right? Answer me, please. Tell me in the comment sections. What I also would like to say, I need to wrap this up right now, and we'll discuss it further because things are unfolding about the killer, Tyler Robinson. A lot of people telling me he's a MAGA guy, he's a conservative, he's a total MAGA guy killing another MAGA guy. Well, you got it half right. He was raised in somewhat of a MAGA family, of Mormons, registered Republicans, everybody in his family, with the exception of Tyler Robinson. That guy was not a registered Republican. That guy embraced liberal ideology, and now it's being exposed that that guy, the killer, the perp, was living with a quote-unquote roommate who's a man who is in the process of transitioning to a female. And now they're linking and establishing a romantic relationship between the two. So how are you going to tell me that that's a MAGA guy when his lover is a man transitioning to a female? There's a lot of questioning and controversy about that. It's not controversial. It's Occam's razor, meaning what the motive is for the killing. Occam's razor, the simplest explanation, is usually the most correct explanation, meaning his lover, whom he loved and wanted to defend, he couldn't stand what he perceived as transgender bashing. Okay? So, listen, thanks for joining. We're going to expose this further. Tune in next week, and we will give you some more information. Peace, blessing, love, people. Have a great day.